because what's money for them?
Well, you might not be far off because it is 12 million pounds, 12 million pounds sterling. This number plate went for.
You just stay the hell away from that. Let's get to George. Here he is. Borge back in the studio. How was the Festival of Motoring, George? It was so cool to do that last Friday. We thoroughly enjoyed it. It was cool seeing around your stand and what you guys were up to.
It was absolutely epic. Hello, Simpiwe and Gareth. I think we had the busiest stand on the day, or on the weekend, should I say.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
I really think we did. And we pull it off every year. And, you know, I say that humbly, but the reason is very simple, is because we give away free rides in sports cars. So, you know.
Who doesn't want that?
Exactly. So, you know, the show is all about experience. Because AutoTrader is a digital marketplace, we get very few opportunities to have the brand interact with humans in the real world. So that's the reason we do it. I mean, a couple of people asked us, ENCA interviewed me and asked, why are you here? Well, you know, what relevance does the brand have to doing a show like this? And it's quite simple. It's really just creating an experience with the brand.
Well, I think it's amazing that you do that. And there's so many different things that just seeing what you had there on Friday that you could do there. It's a very cool thing to do. So it's annual, right? It happens once a year.
Yes. So we partner with Misa Frankfurt, who are the organizers of the show. Their show is called Festival of Motoring, and it's the biggest consumer show. So our strategy is to partner with the biggest platforms of their kind, whether physical or like Cliff Central, virtual and podcast in the country, and only do one. So because you know money is limited, Simpiwe.
Sure. No, but it's terrific. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Hey. You haven't said hello to Alice for a long time. Look how big she's got.
Oh, hello, Alice.
There's Alice, who you haven't. I haven't had her on camera for a long time. She's very camera shy. Say hello, Alice.
Hello, Alice. How old is Alice, Gareth?
She's a year and a bit now. She doesn't like.
She's still a puppy.
She's much more. Publicity shy than Carl was. He preferred the cameras to her. All right. So
what is that? That's 7-year-old in human terms, right?
Yeah. So she's still a little bubba.
Oh.
All right. What do we got, George?
So first up is most expensive world record number plate sold for, guess how much, Simpiwe, in Dubai.
In Dubai? Most expensive number plate. I don't know. Let's go, because those guys have money, you know. Let's go with like $20 million because what's money for them?
Well, you might not be far off because it is 12 million pounds, 12 million pounds sterling. This number plate went for. It's the letter P with the number 7, P7.
You're joking. Someone would pay that. You know, I hear about this stuff and I'm like, I've got to get into some business where I could charge someone that for a stupid license. Wow.
What was the reason?
Well, it's
P7 so exciting that you'd be willing to pay millions of dollars for it. This is outrageous, George.
It's absolutely outrageous, and it's a supply and demand thing, Gareth. So, you know, you have a status symbol if you can get as close to a single letter or single digit plate in Dubai. And that's the reason. And they don't hand them out like candy like they do in South Africa. The government is very stingy with handing out shorter number plates, which creates the status symbol, I guess, for those that are, you know, visiting from Monaco.
Can we just have the name of that person that purchased it? I'd love to just know who that person is. Just asking for a friend.
Right.
I don't know, but this thing went for a world record 12 million British pounds. Next one's a little bit more fun, and that is 5 things you probably didn't know about the use of signs, or the how to communicate with people on the road. This is not kind of hand signs, and maybe some of them should be illegal, but signs on the road that people get wrong. And the first one is flashing your lights for a car to give way in front of you. Who have you ever done that or had it done to you?
Yeah, when they're
Yes.
pressing you and they're being assholes on the road and they're like,
Mm.
you're like, no, relax. Okay. In fact, just because of that, I'll go even slower. I hate
So
when they do it.
I've had people flash at me, but I've also flashed at people, especially if you're in the fast lane and you're going at like 80 kilometers an hour. I'm afraid that you are as dangerous in that position as the people who are speeding at, 190. You're just as bad. You could cause an enormous amount of trouble for people on the roads. Some people don't know to keep left, pass right, and some people don't know what fast lane and slow lane are. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the minimum speed on a motorway is 60 kilometers an hour. So on our highways that you do 120, minimum is 60. So it's just as bad being slow as it is being fast. But you should really keep left, pass right. That's the rules of the road, which means that if it's a 2 or a 3 laned motorway, you should be in one of the left-hand lanes. If you're in the right-hand lane, you should be passing somebody.
Thank you. Absolutely. Say it again, George, for
That's
those people.
simple.
Correct.
Keep left, pass right, even on the motorway. That's the rule of the road. You can't just sit in the right-hand lane, Simpiwe, and go slower.
Yes, Simpiwe. It's you, Simpiwe. It's you.
So anyway, there are actually rules around the world around flashing headlights. You should be using your headlights to see better at night, first of all. But second of all, some of the laws around the world mention specifically flashing your lights, consecutively, like people try and flash you out the way, to indicate when you come around a corner in an intersection so that people get aware that there's a car on its way. But definitely not flashing to get you out of the way. Here's an interesting one. And that is, when should you or shouldn't you use hazard lights, to all those taxi drivers out there, or BMW drivers that don't use them?
Well, here's the problem, is that I think in South Africa, people use hazard lights as, oh, forgive me, I'm about to do something stupid. So it's almost like it's just a please forgive me. I don't know what I'm doing. I know I'm not meant to stop here, but please understand. People don't know what hazards are for. Am I right, George, that you're only meant to use them when you actually need to warn other motorists about, the potential danger of something, or if you have pulled over to the side of the road because you've got a flat tire or whatever? It's to let people know that there's something wrong, but you're aware of the fact that you're not meant to be there, or something like that.
Yeah,
but
so
also,
hazard
isn't it
lights,
like a nice gesture? I know I do it, like when
so you're not supposed to use it as a nice gesture.
Oh,
that's not the design of the hazard lights. Although people use it.
Thank you.
Hazard lights, as to Gareth's point, is to be used or designed to be used exactly the way Gareth just described. It's when you're broken down and you are going to obstruct traffic, or you're going to be a hazard to traffic, and there might be an accident. So that's what hazard lights are actually designed for. It's not designed to say thank you when you let somebody through.
All right. Well, all you've done now, George, is make us less polite. That's all. Because people like Cynthia and I used to, if someone warned you about something, or they let you through in traffic, or whatever, then you put on your hazards quickly to say thank you. You're not meant to do that.
You're not meant to do that. I mean, it is a nice gesture, but it wasn't what the hazard lights were meant to do. And then, believe it or not, you can use your mobile phone in a drive-through.
Oh,
okay.
Useless information, but you can use your mobile phone in a drive-through. And then there are some laws around the placement of obstructions on your windscreen.
Tell me more.
So many people put phone clips. I know I do it. Phone clip on the windscreen, dash cam on the windscreen. But there are rules around obstructing your field of vision. And you shouldn't be putting things on your windscreen that can obstruct your field of vision.
That would make sense. I mean, especially because you get some people who will put stickers all over their windscreen and that kind of thing. So it can be a problem. I mean, you see some people with like 10 years of licenses all smashed onto their windscreen, and they never take off the old ones.
Exactly. And then time for the car trivia, Simpiwe.
My favorite.
Favorite time.
Not my favorite.
Simpiwe has a very bad
Can
record.
I tag in a friend? Comment section, please. Do the most. Help a sister out. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. What was the most expensive car ever sold on auction?
Most expensive car ever sold.
This is
It's gonna be a regular vehicle, in my humble opinion.
I'll give you the point if you just get the brand right.
Most expensive. I would go maybe with a Ford.
I'm thinking of like a movie car, because like a James Bond Aston Martin, because then I think people can say that they drove the one in the 19 whatever it is Sean Connery Bond movie. I think that puts a huge price on things. Am I wrong? Are we both cold?
You're both very cold. You're both very cold. Let me put you out of your misery. So it was a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO sold for $48 million US. And the reason it went for that price was because it was the 1962 Italian GT Championship winner and won 15 classes with overall wins between 1962 and 1965. So it was also the first American guy driving it to win the Formula One World Championship in it. So that's the reason it went for $48 million US.
Wow. Okay. We were 0 points all around. George has come up with
all around. Okay, this one was designed for Simpiwe. What does SUV stand for?
I should know, right? I really don't know.
I know this.
Okay, what is it, Garreth?
Sports utility vehicle.
Gareth's got 1 point, and Theo's got 0.
So embarrassing.
I should know, but
all right.
Okay. Then, Simpiwe, maybe you'll get this one right before Gareth first and finger on the button. Which country is the largest car producer in the world?
China? Country?
Yeah, there we go. Simpiwe's got 1 point.
Thank you.
Good. Fantastic.
And scoreboard, I think the scoreboard is 1 each now, yeah?
Yes. Let's go.
In which country was the airbag invented?
Which country? Oh.
It's got to be one of these countries that's super safety obsessed. I would Sweden.
I also guessed Sweden, Gareth.
It's not Sweden, though, is it?
No.
Germany? No. Clearly.
Simpiwe's got 2 points. Gareth's got 1. It was Germany.
Good work. Simpiwe's winning this round. Oh, my God.
Wow.
This.
Okay. And then if Gareth gets this, it will be a tie and sorted out next week. Simpiwe gets it. She wins hands down. But who designed the VW Beetle?
Who designed?
If you get his last name right, then I'll give you the point.
Sure. I don't know the answer to this one.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. His last name is the name of the brand of a car.
Mercedes.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
It's not Mercedes.
Ferdinand Porsche.
Porsche. Good. Yeah, so good. It was designed in the 1930s in Germany, right?
Yes, and then taken over by Hitler to become a war vehicle.
Right. Hitler, that guy. Not a great. You don't want a car. Would you buy a car brand called Hitler? I don't think I would.
No, definitely not.
But can the record state that I finally won my first?
The record can state this is recorded. It's going online. It's always going to exist.
Now what? Next week, what? Who is going to be coming on the show going, I can't wait for George's quiz.
I would have done some studying and homework. I'm ready now.
Very good.
Very good. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Simpiwe. Thank you, George. Have an awesome Friday, Everybody, we will see you on Monday at 6 a.m. bright and early. Enjoy the weekend and enjoy the first day of spring. Yee!
Summertime.